I grew up in Europe, and World War II got me when I was about 7 to 10 years old. And I realized how few of the grown-ups that I knew were able to withstand the tragedies that the war visited upon them. How few of them could even resemble a normal, contented, satisfied, happy life once their job, their home, their security was destroyed by the war. So I became interested in understanding what contributed to a life that was worth living. And I tried, as a child, as a teenager, to read philosophy and to get involved in art and religion and many other ways that I could see a possible answer to that question. And I finally ended up encountering psychology by chance. I have spent past 40 years studying what in everyday life, in our normal experience, makes us really happy. I have published my results in my best-selling book, Flow. I will be discussing flow with you today. Flow is the ultimate state of happiness. Flow is being completely involved in an activity for its own sake. The ego falls away. Time flies. Every action, movement, and thought follows inevitably from the previous one, like playing jazz or playing football or anything that requires any certain activity. Your whole being is involved, and you're using your skill to the utmost. Here's a chart that explains well. As you can see, flow is in Goldilocks zone between boredom and anxiety. This is when one is highly challenged in an area where they are highly skilled. One man I found while researching flow was Vladimir Vladimirovich, an artist in Srednovsk, Siberia.
Меня зовут Владимир Васильевич. Я живу тут в Сибири, и тут очень холодно. Но я прочитал когда-то книжку «Flow». Эта книжка меня научила, как заниматься очень-очень хорошими вещами, и рисовать красиво. Никогда не надо думать ни о чем. Я могу все свое тело, все свое время, все свои просто эмоции положить в мое рисование. Из-за этого флоу у меня жизнь тут в холодной Сибири намного лучше стала. У меня даже есть раб по имени Полинович. Он занимается тут, и я его заставляю делать очень трудную работу. Но это нормально, потому что когда он делает трудную работу, ему это нравится. Я живу тут в Сибири, тут очень холодно. Но я прочитал когда-то книжку «Flow». Эта книжка меня научила, как заниматься очень-очень хорошими вещами, рисовать красиво в свое время. Но это нормально, потому что когда он делает трудную работу, ему это нравится. Я могу тут сидеть и рисовать, а он там на улице делает очень много работы. Просто прикольно.
I wrote Flow for general audience, and in order to make the book as direct and user-friendly as possible.
This book summarizes decades of research on the positive aspects of human experience: joy, creativity, the process of total involvement with life. Flow can be characterized with 6 factors: intense and focused concentration on the present moment, merging of action and awareness, a loss of reflective self-consciousness, a sense of personal control or agency over the situation or activity, a distortion of temporal experience, one's subjective experience of time is altered, and experience of the activity as intrinsically rewarding, also referred to as autotelic experience. One passage that stood out to me when I first read this book was this one. This is what we mean by optimal experience. It is what the sailor holding a tight course feels when the wind whips through her hair, when the boat lunges through the waves like a colt, sails, hull, wind, and sea humming with the harmony that vibrates in the sailor's veins. It is what a painter feels when the colors on the canvas begin to set up a magnetic tension with each other, and a new thing, a living form, takes shapes in front of the astonished creator. Or it is the feeling a father has when his child for the first time responds to his smile. In this passage, the author uses a wide range of examples and vivid imagery to connect with as wide an audience as possible. He structures his writing so that the reader will connect with, if not understand, at least one of the examples. He works to expand flow beyond the technical wording of the literal definition or the 6 factors and turns it into an idea that we can more easily grasp and hold on to. This book is not a how-to book that gives insider tips about how to be happy. To do so would be impossible in any case, since a joyful life is an individual creation that cannot be copied from a recipe. This book tries instead to present general principles, along with concrete examples of how some people have used these principles to transform boring and meaningless lives into ones full of enjoyment. There is no promise of easy shortcuts in these pages, but I highly recommend Flow for readers who care enough about such things to set aside the time and energy to actually work on improving their life, for there should be enough information to make possible the transition from theory to practice.
I've avoided footnotes, references, other tools that scholars usually employ in their technical writing. I have tried to present the results of psychological research and the ideas derived from the interpretation of such research in a way that any educated reader can evaluate and apply to his or her own life, regardless of specialized background knowledge. I myself have spent my entire life researching and documenting flow with the help of a large number of fellow academics. So I guarantee you that our ideas are based in fact, although flow is different for everyone. I believe that if you make effort to apply flow in your daily life, it can really make a difference on the way your life turns out. I believe that flow is the ultimate way for when you're sitting on deathbed and you are looking back on the things in your life that you cherish, friends, family, moments, that using the philosophy of flow can allow that to reach its maximum potential. In the 80 years I've been on this planet, I've applied my own teachings to my own life, and I feel that I can't be happier than the way I am. And this has been flow, and I hope you can too. So that's flow. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day.
I squeeze it, I squeeze it, I squeeze it, I squeeze it, I squeeze it.